I guess we're running late from past presentations. We'll try to do the 20-25 minutes that we had scheduled. This is going to be fun. So one of the things I do like to begin with every time I start a presentation, especially now, it's like 3 o'clock, day 2, we need to get some fire in the room. So, my man, so you beat me to it, but I was going to ask, the way I get fired up, just in my head, but I'm going to ask everybody to do it to the point that they're going to hear us upstairs and they're going to wonder what's going on down here, right? So everybody knows what this means, right? Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to yell it out. 1, 2, 3. Let's fucking go! Thanks for humoring me. So our presentation is onboarding to Bitcoin with culture. It sounds broad, but we're going to get specific into what this really means. A little bit of background about me. My name is Francisco Chavarria. I am the CEO and founder at Yopaki, a startup based out of Austin, Texas. And I have here head of operations, Gustavo Flores, who has joined the team recently and putting a lot of order in our big plans for Mexico and the United States as we carry on into the rest of Latin America. We're aiming to provide financial tools for people all over the world. However, it's not so simple to just create whatever it is, the exchange, the technology, the applications. So Yopaki is finding ways to connect cultural aspects and then bring those financial tools. Recently, we had an adventure in Mexico. That was in September. And there's a lot of people in the room that I recognize that were a part of that crazy day. We like to call BitSignal. If any of you guys, if you saw it on social media, you'll find out exactly what went down and how it went down. And even the ones that were present, I don't know if you really know everything that happened step by step. So this is going to be, I guess, a word of advice if you ever want to do it in your own countries. Okay. As of that day, there had only been 2 central banks that had received the Bitcoin treatment. And you can fact check me on this, but the first one was in the UK in 2021. And then the next one was the European Central Bank. This happened in Germany earlier this year. There is an instance of a third place. It was in Prague, in the Czech Republic. However, it was not a central bank. It was a building. So as far as central banks, 2. As a Mexican, I thought, oh man, we got to do this. We're next. So enter Mexico. A few background notes on the Mexican Central Bank. That's the outside of the building. And I'll just give you 3 short stories about the Mexico Central Bank. It was established in 1925. Earliest conversations about this happening date as far as 1844, but there was a lot of discussions between should it be a private institution or should it be public. After many years, they decided that the government will take over, and it was established in 1925. Second point, this is one of the most recognized architectures in downtown Mexico City, if you've ever been. And it's not just because of the building, but because of the surrounding buildings. The Opera House is across the street. Torre Latinoamericana is on the opposite side, which at one point was the second largest tower after the Empire State in the Americas. No longer the case, there's buildings everywhere. And the last one, we can boo as soon as I finish reading this. There's a CBDC plan from the Central Bank of Mexico. Boo! They've been talking about this for a long time. The plan is to have it developed by the end of 2024. So do they deserve the Bitcoin treatment? Yes. So now, enter our team. Let's do it, right? Okay. So I thought I was a genius for coming up with this. It's going to be the 3rd country. I'm surprised no one else has done it. Wow. 3-step checklist. 1, have the idea. Yay. Number 2, get a projector. Simple enough. Number 3, project it, and let's celebrate.
Don't get arrested.
Don't get arrested is good, yeah. But have you seen the meme of the reality? This is what my mom thinks I do, what my friends think I do, what I actually do, and blah, blah, blah. This is just an example of what that meme is. I was put in this position as soon as I started getting the logistics ready for the projector. The real checklist. 1, have the idea. 2, find a projector. Realize it cannot be any projector. Get help in finding the right projector. Learn projector options. Celebrate finding the right projector. Realize the right projector needs a lot of power. Find a way to power up the projector, and you probably see where this is headed. Choose power conductor. Look for the right spots. Have a plan B, C, and D for those spots. Choose the right time. It cannot be during the day. If it's too late during the night, we could potentially get arrested. Scout the roads and vehicle traffic patterns. Scout foot and pedestrian patterns. Realize it cannot be static or fixed, and we need a vehicle to project it. Look for a vehicle. Realize it can be any vehicle. Get help finding the right vehicle. Celebrate finding said vehicle. Pray for good weather. That's one we cannot control. And of course, let's get ready to go. So, pretty exciting. 21 list. Thank you for noticing that. Little nugget. Just to kind of walk you through some of that journey, this is the side of the central bank. And as we were taking pictures, we were studying different angles. Is it going to be standing? Is someone going to hold it? Do we need a cart? We went to a balcony across the street. I mean, we have endless pictures. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just quickly going to give you an idea. This is the right vehicle. This vehicle has doors in the back and then a sliding door. So this is perfect to be able to do that mischievous adventure and project it. Also, this is the right projector. We have about 20,000 lumen projector, which I didn't know what that means. And this is the right one. So pretty exciting stuff so far. We have the technician teaching us what to do, what not to do. And of course, some last shots, me celebrating that we have everything. We decided that we would do it at the front because it says Banco Central de Mexico or Banco de Mexico. A few additional shots. And this is our final spot. Okay, so it had been determined that this is going to be the spot. It's amazing. All that work, 24 hours till go time. Fuck, everything goes to shit. And I'm sorry for the recording. Projector company backed out. They wanted to see a permit. We didn't have one. Vehicle rental backed out. They were scared of having the car license plate scanned. Very true, because there's cameras all over. And number 3, the power crew no longer available, which is the same people that were going to provide the vehicle. So, at this point, this block party, this event that we did in Mexico, had been hyped to have a side event that was going to be so fun, and it had never been done. This could not just happen. So we were going to make it happen. There's no going back. So with about 4 hours before the event, we're still telling people, hey, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to read through it really quick. I know you can follow. We purchased the power converter. We rigged it to the jumper cables of a vehicle, convinced one of the attendees to let us borrow his car, get Super Testnet to jump in the car with us, hold the projector in the back seat, use his laptop as the image source while the projector is connected to that converter, running the jumper cables through the hood and the passenger window onto the devices. Pay some guys nearby the central bank to let us use their parking spot. It was a multi-story parking location, so we can test it and see if it works, and let the fun begin. So we're driving around, we're getting ready to find a parking spot, and I think you're laughing because you see a police car right next to us, right? Okay. So we were just playing it cool. We kept driving. We actually did 3 different rounds. Side note, this avenue, Ejército Nacional, which is close to Reforma, is one of the busiest streets in Mexico City. Doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime. Yeah. Okay, at this point, this is Max, someone who was fundamental in making this happen. We're exhausted. This is just an image of us running the cables. And set projector, no longer 20,000 lumen projector, but it was still going to do the trick. And we finally did it. Fix the money, fix the world, estudia Bitcoin, and of course, the one image that made it happen that was retweeted. Thank you, guys. Okay, and then this, just a little nugget. We have 2 versions of this picture. I didn't forget about you, Maciek. There's one that Maciek took, where, so many faces here that were a part of that. But here's the other one. Maciek, didn't forget about you, right here. And then what happened after this? So we started getting attention from the media. Bitcoiners projected the image. in the Banco Central de Mexico. I cannot say who, but there were even a number of politicians in Mexico that DM'd me, and they liked what we did, which was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. Eventually, Bitcoin Magazine got a hold of it, and of course, the media storm that caused was amazing. The thing is, the party didn't stop there. The next day, we had our actual conference or our actual block party. And during this party, one of our really good friends, Andrew Howard, who was just finishing a presentation upstairs, talked about a school in Mexico that has accepted to take Mi Primer Bitcoin as a required part of the curriculum for students. This is huge. We cannot measure what this means today. We'll have to obviously come back and look at the data a year, 2, 3 years from now. But the fact that they agreed to do this at a university level is massive. So the news kept on coming. What's next, right? After this success. The event generated over 2 million impressions on social media between all of our posts and reposts and all of that. We started getting feedback and questions to get involved from other Bitcoin companies, and there's ongoing conversations with schools in Mexico to adopt that same model. So that's pretty fun. Thank you. Because of that, we are doing a Mexico Bitcoin Block Party Volume 2 in September of 2024. So stay tuned for that. Last week, we also announced a collaboration with a Bitcoin company that is very focused on education for children. And together, we want to create a little monster that will serve for education content in Spanish. But can we do more? This was really fun. And we noticed there's interest in the country and the Spanish-speaking world. But can we do more? So as of, I guess, today or the beginning of Bitcoin education or non-education, there's a technology part. There's the applications, the exchanges, and then we have the education on another side. And I think all of us that love Bitcoin understand that education is fundamental, right? Everybody's education, education, education. So in the last few years, especially with people based out of here, El Salvador, with Mi Primer Bitcoin, and some of the initiatives taking place in Mexico, I think there's finally a joint effort to expand this. So the Bitcoin exposure that people are having today with purpose is a combination of both education and technology, which is great. But once again, is it enough? The questions we keep asking ourselves at Yopaki is it enough? Twitter can be an echo chamber. I think we understand this. Sometimes we think everybody knows Bitcoin until we go to a family event, party, and we realize that we're the crazy ones. Conferences have signal, but it's not scalable. Not everybody can attend. This is amazing today, what's happening upstairs, what's happening here, but not everybody can go to conferences. Is current exposure too slow? The user cycles of mass adoption happen every 4 years. So that is pretty slow for what we dream to see. And educational institutions have an archaic model. They just don't move fast enough. We have to talk for many, many hours, days, weeks, months for them to even agree to maybe teach a class. Can we crack the code? This is any Bitcoin company and us at Yopaki understanding a culture to its roots. Is there something we can do there to test massive growth? Doing that, can we get to all ages? Like everyone can understand and that everybody can enjoy. So we believe that on top of the technology and the education, there has to be a cultural aspect to it. Understanding what people like to do when they're with families, the conversations they have, the things they play when they were kids, and the things they continue to play when they were kids. Obviously, I have a question mark as a golden ticket because this is the adventure we're trying to start. And we will find out, and again, the data will come out in the next couple of months to a year. I'll just finish with a short history lesson before I moved into what we're thinking is going to be a cultural opportunity that Gustavo will get in depth more. But this is a, actually, let's still go to the next one. So games are not new. I think that ultimately, whether it's video games or traditional games, people get addicted or they get the enjoyment of social aspects because there's always a cultural connection to it, right? I think we all remember the first time we played a board game with our parents or with our cousins. There's a game that is played in Mexico that actually has its roots in the 15th century This game started in Italy, then translated into Spain. After Spain went into Mexico, they brought that game in the 18th century. And the game had images that were Renaissance inspired in many different ways. Originally, this game was played by the elites, but slowly, as different ferias or fairs, as they're known, more people started getting access to this game. So it went all the way from the elites to the plebs. Clemente Jacques is a French immigrant who lived in Mexico, and he was a fundamental character to create this game to the point that everybody in the country knew what it was. He was the owner of a company that up to this day still exists. It's a bottling company, ketchup and other types of products. And he thought, what would be a good way to show people the types of foods they should be eating? So he started creating caricatures, cartoons, and whatnot. Mexican soldiers played the game courtesy of Jacques Clement. And when they came back from getting these games for free, yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. They brought it to their families, and their families fell in love with this game. The Catholic Church in the 1930s used it as well to be able to tell people the differences in images, especially for the people that couldn't read, but at least they could understand what the saints were, what different artifacts were. So this game has been used as an instrument to mass teach for centuries. And this is what we're thinking too. The name of the game is Loteria. Did anyone know, by chance? Did anyone know? Okay. Oh, wow, about a third of the room. Very, very good. Very, very good. So, because of this, we believe that we can carry that same philosophy, and we're creating Loteria Bitcoin by Yopaki. And thank you. Stay tuned. We're just going to switch here computers. You can move this up here. It's okay, it's okay. I need these. Just give it a second.
Oh. Yeah.
Is there a tech guy?
No, it's good, it's good.
Tech?
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. All right, so here's a demo of the product we're going to launch before Christmas. So this is happening very, very soon. This is the Yopaki app that's going to launch on iPhone and Android. The main feature is the Bitcoin Loteria. So it's just a regular flow, right? You create an account with a phone number. You enter your Mexican phone number. We need that just to block bots from from creating accounts. Then after that, you enter your email, just regular sign-up process, verify the email, create a username, and now you have an account. Okay, so now you're in the dashboard of the application, and you want to earn free Bitcoin, for sure, right? Why wouldn't you not? So now you go to Bitcoin Loteria, loads up. Like we said, Loteria is a traditional Mexican card game that everyone in Mexico knows about. Most people in the US know about, either because they grew up next to Mexican-American communities or just because they're Mexican-American. So every Monday, a new game starts. And every 12 hours, there's a new turn. Every turn, a new card gets picked. The first turn happens at 8 a.m. on Monday. In that turn, everyone gets a card. When you get a card, you got to claim it before the next turn. So you got to log into the application, and you got to click on Claim Reward. If you wait until the next turn, you're not going to be able to claim it. So we want to incentivize usage, and people have to check every 12 hours if they've won the new card. Okay, so every card gets you 100 sats, every column gets you 500 sats, every row gets you 1,000 sats, and if you win the whole game, you get 1 Bitcoin. There's 54 cards in total. You have 12 cards, and there's going to be 14 cards picked. So you would have to get 12 out of 14 for you to win 1 Bitcoin. So this is like the first moment of the week, right? A new card gets picked. It just appears right there. You click on the card. El Niet Fiat. we're gonna use like Bitcoin-related cards. We're gonna use some traditional ones, but also we're gonna bring new Bitcoin concepts and education things to educate people from. You know, so this El Niet flat, you claim the 100 sats, you got it in your Yopaki wallet, then you get out of the app, you get a notification, a new card is out, come check it out. You go to the application, but if you go too late, you miss 100 sats. Then you get out, then you don't have that card, that can happen. Now you have the column, so you click on El Bukele, and you claim 500 sats, right? The same thing if you get a row. You just claim 1,000 sats. And of course, if you get the whole board, I don't know why the card, it glitched, there's a card missing. But now you just won the Loteria, you're the best player of Bitcoin Loteria in the world, you just won 1 Bitcoin. So we want to incentivize users to join the application, earn free Bitcoin. There's really nothing. This is not a gambling application because you cannot put Bitcoin to gamble. You can just earn for free. So you just learn Bitcoin while playing, having fun, and getting free sats, right? So literally no downside. And it doesn't consume much time, right? You just log in 30 seconds every 12 hours, and you win free sats. Once you have those sats, well, once you've won the game, you just have to wait until the next Loteria. And that starts, like I said, every Monday, 8 a.m. But when you got those sats, you can go to your wallet and you can pay a Lightning invoice. For example, you're in El Salvador and you want to pay for some pupusas, just scan the QR code, boom, the Lightning invoice, and you pay directly from the application. So this money you're going to have in the application, you're going to be able to spend it, you're going to be able to send it between your Paxter users, and also pay Lightning invoices, and over time on-chain, and over time it's going to be a full-on wallet, and so and on and on and on. And that's pretty much what we wanted to announce and what's going to come out before Christmas. It's going to be available for users anywhere in the world. Just need a phone number. You don't have to be in Mexico. You can be anywhere, but we're going to prioritize the US and Mexico and Latin America, of course. And that's pretty much it.
So I did notice, I don't think they heard the part where they win. How much Bitcoin could you potentially win? 1 Bitcoin. Let's go. Now, obviously, you have to play a lot. You have to refer people. There will be aspects of the game that you get incentivized for playing it. The obvious question I would ask if I was in the crowd, well, statistically, how difficult it is. Of course it's difficult. However, the more people you refer, the more people you know that could potentially win it. Our goal is to onboard as many people as possible. Now, we're using this as a bridge to basically offer additional Bitcoin products and additional Bitcoin tools. However, the people that play this game don't feel like they have to be orange-pilled completely. So this is a game you can show to your cousin, to your mom, to your neighbor, and say, hey, check this out. Maybe get a giggle out of a card, right? Speaking of cards,
What is it going to do? El Bukele. Thank you everyone.
When can we start playing?
Before the end of the year, before Christmas.
We have time for questions.
Yeah. 5 minutes or 5 questions? Questions?
The story of the non-arrest or arrest, what happened?
That's really... So because we had the car, that was actually super helpful, and there were about 25, 30 people. It was a big group, which actually ended up helping us. We did have the police show up. They were walking, and they asked, hey, what are you guys doing? And then he called 2 other officers. At that point, the people in the car kind of played dumb, and it's like, oh, no, what do you mean? No, what are you doing? And then just the word was spread out. So no arrest. But we, yeah.
So yeah, you're going to give away a whole Bitcoin and 100 sats. Is that from your pocket? Like,
Yeah, I'm so glad you're asking. So where does the yield come from, right? There's no yield. This is free sats. Yeah. So we're fortunate. The company, as I mentioned, is based out of Austin. We have pretty cool partnerships. We're not ready to show all the cards, but we'll be doing packages of cards. As of right now, it's our cards, but we'll be featuring companies, products, services. So it's going to be a collaborative effort. Yeah, it's a brand collaborations. So that's a great question.
I just want to double down on the understand like Bitcoin adoption in a certain country, you also need to understand the people. So that was amazing, and I hope everybody, it's going to be an even bigger event than next year. So I'm looking forward for that.
Thanks, Maciek. Appreciate it. Any others? We had 5 questions, right? Thanks, guys. Make sure to download it. You can go to our website. If you sign up for the email sign-up list, you'll be getting those notifications before we actually push it heavy on Twitter and other social platforms. So Yopaki.com, pretty simple. On Twitter, at Yopaki Bitcoin, and Instagram, Yopaki Bitcoin. You can also follow Gustavo and Francisco on Twitter.
When can you download it? So I just looked it up and it was.
No, it's not ready yet. Before Christmas. Our developers are not here for this reason. We're like, you guys are pretty much being held hostages because we have to. Thanks.